If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Annatomic. And this is how my legend was made.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you? People always call a madhouse someplace. I hate to even think about it.
He's alive! He's alive!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pizza Live. Pizza Live from the heart of Lovecraft Country, in the birthplace of American religious liberty. My name is Shanthan Jetty. You're watching Shanthan Jetty Art. Today, we are going to be watching a movie that is going to be a part of our rotation here at Pizza Live, and it is the movie that put the live in Pizza Live. So, when I came up with the idea for doing live watch-alongs with public domain movies that YouTube could later copyright and give me all kinds of hassle with, when I came up with that brilliant idea, this was the movie that I decided to start with because this is a classic movie, a public domain movie. It's really great, and what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to start just every now and again, even if it's just a couple of seconds towards the end of these movies, I'm going to add a little bit of Hassenpfeffer, as they say, a little bit of spice, a little bit of something to make it fun like we do here on Pizza Live. Link to this t-shirt is in the description, fools. Let's do this. So we've got some wonderful people here, some fantastic people here in the chat, and this is a great movie. I love this movie. It's an independent movie, like so much of many of the artists and the people around here. You know what? I wish we could watch the documentary on this. I know you guys probably know a lot about the documentary on this, but the thing I love is the amount of people from the Pittsburgh area that came together, in some cases with no or little acting experience, but they had, actual skills for building things and things like that, ingenuity, all of this stuff. Those folks came together to make a classic out of Pittsburgh. And if there's one thing that drives me crazy about an attitude that's so pervasive in the art industry, art world, I should say, not even the industry, let's say the entertainment world, is that it has to come from here. It has to come from these people. It has to come from talent, and it has to come from true believers. That's the only thing that's going to make this stuff work. And I know that you guys, so many of you guys who have been supporting the book and supporting the stuff I'm doing, the books I'm doing, you're where this stuff happens. And when you think about this movie's importance, we're going to be watching all the movies we watch here that we put into our rotation, into what we do here on Pizza Live. I want to put in front of you guys movies that, of course, are in the public domain, but are different, that in many ways they're infused by either independence or vision, and they're the stuff that just makes you either laugh, crack up, be charmed by, or truly be frightened by. And that's what makes Pizza Live so fun. I got to see my channel members in the house. Speaking of the people who are dreamers, make dreams happen and make things happen. We've got Mark's Music Obsession, channel member, OG, 26 months, I think it is now, isn't it? It's close. I think it's almost over 2 years now. We've got Headless Bourgeoisie in the house. It is great to see you. Another channel member here. How are you doing, man? Let me see who else I've got here. I know I had another one. Lord Henson. This is for you, baby. Lord Henson Comic Skater. Yeah, this movie, I know you guys know it's a classic, and I think Amoral Fat 40 Ounce was talking about, have you shown this before? Yeah, the movies that we're going to show on this channel, we're going to be showing movies that we've seen before. The difference is the experience that we have, who's here, and I'm always going to add a little bit of something, a little special spice into the pizza, just like I did with the War of the Worlds radio show, things like that. But I'm also looking to find new stuff to add into the mix as well. But the movies we watch are so fun, and you guys are just a blast. So this is a chance for us to sit back, relax, and enjoy ourselves. Of course, I have to say hello to Bruce Campbell's Chin, who remembers when I was pitching Springball, and I had just come up with the idea, and I was going to announce it on stream, that Springball is, the way to distill the book, Springball is Spider-Man meets the Evil Dead. And the link to Springball and Nosfero, which is going to be closing very, very soon, I got to reach out to the printer. I think I want to reach out to the printer on Monday and just see what their pipeline is and start talking. They've printed the first edition of this book, and they printed my 2 art books, so we have a pretty long-standing working relationship. They know how I want things and I expect things, and it is what it is. But it just makes me smile to see you guys here who've just been such a big part of this and everything that we're doing here on this channel. I got to say hey to all of my folks. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is here. It is great to see you, my friend. We've also got Amoral Fat 40 Ounce. We've got Emo Trash. We've got Leg Kick 1. OG, man. OG. We got Corey Landis. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Absolutely. Amazing line. And it's great because I got to use them in the opening sequence, stills, or I should say, footage from this movie in the opening. So it is a foundational movie for Pete's Alive. The impact it's had on just the show, this coming into being in this channel. I did a lot of talking about horror movies. I used to go through slides and discuss them. And I just thought, there's all these public domain movies, even though people are, increasingly trying to make it seem like they're not public domain. But there's all these public domain movies. We should be having a good old-fashioned watch party. We should absolutely be doing this kind of stuff. Ink on paper. Pizza's coming up. I'm going to make sure the pizza's hot for you guys. So when the stream starts, if the pizza's not hot, you let me know. And of course, we have John in the house. It is good to see you, John. Let me see who else we've got here. Paul Schmitz is here. Good to see you, Paul. Another OG, a man called Plush, saying the body horror bug hits me whenever you're on, brother. I'll have to screenshot and share this gorgeous shot of the Guyver. I remember overtaking David Hayter's body in a nightmare scene. I remember that scene. I remember watching, gosh, I've seen Guyver in so many of its incarnations now. It's a great design. And I know, Shane Davis is a massive Guyver fan. And of course, back at you, Headless Bourgeoisie. Let's see who else we've got here as people are trickling in. Bruce Campbell's Chin. Yeah, movies we've already seen, so it's okay to talk during them. Amen. Amen, man. All right, I think I got all of you guys here in the chat. So listen, we're going to get started, but I got to give you a little bit of a warning because I do have a tendency to do a little bit of something whenever we play these movies. And this is something I came to, of course, Mighty Geek Studios is here. Mighty Geek, I got to talk to you. Are we doing George Romero's Night of the Living Dead? You sure as heck know we are. Mighty Geek Studios, you left a comment right as the credits were going, and I almost stopped the credits to come back in and say hi to you, man. I was like, when you were lurking. Maybe I'm misremembering it, but I think it was on the painting stream. By the way, if you aren't subscribed to this channel and you don't know all the other stuff we do here, this is the thing I got to make sure I say, man. I've been doing, I'm going to start doing a series, and I may even do one tomorrow. I'm going to do these as often as I can. I've been doing some live painting streams where I take a canvas and I try to Bob Ross it. It is not as easy as Bob makes it look. And I just try to do a painting all the way through. On camera, mixing acrylics, showing you the colors I use, warts and all, and it just has to go how it goes, right? That's a big part of it. What's up, Glass Machine? How are you doing, man? Yeah, misremembering. Yeah, there's always a first time. My favorite thing ever is my mother-in-law coined something that a phrase I love, where there was an ugly sign out in front of her house that she didn't want there, and she goes, yeah, I hit it with the car. And they said, you hit it with the car? What happened? And she goes, well, it was kind of accidentally on purpose. How's that for a Southernism? Accidentally on purpose. That always kills me, man. Corey Landis says, I spent all that money on the Guyver Japanimation tapes. I remember, man. Sunco. Whoa. Corey. You just threw me into a time machine. Wow. I remember getting letterboxed VHS and Bubblegum Crisis and stuff like that at those places that would have them. I even got the Heat letterbox edition, I think, at Suncoast. Wow, that took me back. I believe that there are 3 Guyver Ovas. Doesn't surprise me. That was a great ride, Sean. Thank you so much. Cannot wait to see the monster. Yeah, absolutely. And for Mark's Music Obsession, this right here, I don't know if it's going to pick up well on camera, but here you go. For those of you guys who missed the painting, I did a little bit of touching up on it. And actually, let me do this since I have a totally messy desk. Why not show you my messy desk? And then we'll get started here. So let me see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try. Nope, that's not going to work. God, what's wrong with me, man? So many things, people. So many things. Let's see if this works. It's not going to do it for me. Sorry, guys. It's not going to do it for me. This thing has been janky. I'm going to have to just show it to you this way, the old-fashioned way. I think there's something wrong with the cable, but here you go. This is it. This is the bride painting. And I am so glad to see that the show was exciting to people. People wanted to see it. If you missed it, it's still up. I have not privated it or made it members only. So if you want to watch that, get some views on it, because Lord knows YouTube likes to remove those views. You know how that works, man. And thank you, Lord Hinson. I always appreciate the kind words, man. I always appreciate it. Stephen De La Vega, how are you doing, my friend? Sean, so what's the story on the Threshers comic I just read? All right. So you had asked me this question before. Sorry we're getting sidetracked so early, guys, on this show. I hope you guys don't mind. So here's the story of Threshers in a nutshell. When I was 17 years old, I went to a comic convention, which was the Diamond Comics Distributors Convention. You remember Diamond? They existed once. Uh, in Baltimore. It's where I got that job, my first pro job, and I talked them into hiring me. Um, they sent me the script. They sent me all these papers. I saw Andy Smith's cover on it, and I was like, man, I want to make the. And I told him, I go, you need to make the interior of this book look like the cover. And so I started. I pitched them me doing the book, and they brought me on to the book. I think they switched artists, frankly, to me, if I'm not mistaken. Then they sent me the script, and the script was like a script written. It was like all these board meetings and everything like that. And remember, I'm 17 and this is my first job. And this is how many people were jumping into comics who weren't fully invested in it. And I said, I just can't do this. I just want to illustrate a story that someone's going to want to buy. And they said, well, what would you do with it? So I completely reworked the plot of the story, and they just did the words over top of it. So here's some stuff. Here's some Easter eggs. There's a ton. Page 1 of the shark Yoda figure holding the staff was inspired by the E.T. Universal Studios ride, where there's that plant guy, Botanicus, who's got this glowing staff, because I'm a massive Spielberg fan. When you flip to the next page, I used a National Geographic magazine I'd read since I was a kid that had sharks, growing in little eggs on it. Then the spaceship that shows up and sucks the cowboy. That was a scene they had me illustrate for a test. I drew that page twice for some reason when they changed the story. The cowboy was me looking at Brad Pitt in Thelma and Louise with his cowboy hat. And then the alien ship that abducted him was inspired by Close Encounters. When they get to the alien mountain with the secret base in it, that's inspired by Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? And then let's see what else. The hammerhead shark monster with 4 arms at the end is something I came up with. And then I was just making nonstop comic references to things I like. The double page spread was inspired by Spider-Man 16, where Cable is running, only I wanted to have all my shark characters running in a bunch of debris. Let's see what else I had. And then where the girl is floating with all the bubbles around her is inspired by an issue of Spawn. I think it might be Spawn issue 10, but I'm not sure. Where he's like teleporting or he's seeing the universe and he's in the exact same pose. So that book really was just a 17-year-old kid just trying to, like, getting a job, getting paid $30 a page. I was working all night. Even then I had a crazy work ethic. And so I was just working 14, 15 hours a day with Micron Pigmas, not even knowing the right supplies. And it was just crazy. And it's one of those things to where if you love comics, I went up there. I was not a very extroverted person. I showed my work. I pushed the stuff out there. And all of those roads, those crazy winding roads I've been on, have led me back here, led me back to comics, led me to you guys, you amazing folks, and have gotten us to this place right now where we're crowdfunding comics. And so many of the people that I was passing along the way in my journey, and I didn't even know it, have seen this book and knew this book, and I can't believe that it exists. Oh, I haven't been sleeping since before age 10. Yeah, can't miss a chance at the monster to match the bride shop. If you plan on doing that next, I probably will. I don't know what the monster is going to look like because I might have some fun and play with it. But I also got to do another bride at some point because Lloyd Burton had sent me a message going, I'd like to buy the bride too. I was like, oh no, Lloyd, I'm sorry. But Lloyd already has a bride for me, but I know he likes the bride. So Lloyd, I promise if you see this later, I will get a bride at some point. Yeah, Steven, it's a crazy thing. They were so unaware of how to do a comic book that, and it was just, you can hear all sorts of stories like this from the early 90s of an independent publisher getting into it and just having no idea what makes a comic book work. In fact, you still see independent publishers coming into comics who have no idea how comics work. It's not like any other art form. It really isn't like any other art form. It requires so much of you, and that's what I love about it, but that's what people who truly appreciate the art form love, is they know what we're putting into it. And it's the same thing with the shows we do here and everything else. Terry1111, how are you doing, my friend? So here's my warning, guys. Here is my warning. And this is really what comes to, I kind of cherish this comic now, so you pretty much made all this. I'll just say, bring it back, War Threshers. Yeah, they own the rights to it, unfortunately. First Light Entertainment owns the rights. But I probably will. I'm already working in a shark monster, believe it or not. Not a shark-like creature, but I'm making a reference to a shark creature because that's another thing about it. I'm a huge Spielberg fan. So you had Close Encounters influences in there, Jaws influence in there, and E.T. influence in there. All stuff that I started forcing in there that wasn't there when I started the book. It was just alien sharks and gray aliens, which is fine. I started changing everything to be something kind of more me, more McFarlane, which they hired me for. They were like, wow, you can kind of draw like Todd McFarlane. We'll hire you. And I was like, let's do this. So yeah, it was a cool time, and it was a great time, and I'm glad you've got the book. All right, so here we are, 10:22, guys. Here's what I have to say. Shant, you should do a review of Threshers, or Rocky. You should have Rocky do it, because I think he owns it, man. I think he owns a copy of it. He owns everything, man, I ever put out. That guy was like the first like hardcore Shant fan, period. Like, it was nuts. Actually, okay, let me take that back. My friend Zachary Cullis actually was trading me comics for art when we were hanging out when I was like 11 and 12, and he introduced me to Todd and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's the number one, like, in terms of in line, Shant and Jetty fan of my work, which blows my mind because I did not. That guy is a blessing from God for that. Like, he's just one of those people that comes along in your life and is like, hey, that's cool what you do, and no one else is really around you is into that kind of stuff. And guys, all right, last thing I'm going to say. How many times have I said that on this stream so far? If you haven't figured out how much you're backing your memberships, your super chats, and all the things you do to support my work and what I do means to me by now, let me reiterate, let me state for the record, it's something I've always appreciated, anybody's excitement or enthusiasm about my work. I always appreciate support, and it means the world to me. It means the world to me, and I am so, so grateful for you guys. Whenever one of you guys announces, someone just was on stream the other day. They didn't know about Nosfero, and I really need to know their name too. Now I'm like blanking on it. But they backed Springball and Nosfero, and they sent Springball to 33,000. They kicked it over to the next level, so we're at 33K now on Springball, and I think we're at almost at 17K on the Second Chance campaign for Nosfero. So my cup runneth over. God bless you guys. Thank you for your support. Let's do this stuff. Remember, though, remember that just like aliens got into the house when we were listening to the War of the Worlds radio show, there's 60% chance, there's 100% chance that by the end of this, zombies may get in the house and it might get a little bit loud. So I'm letting you know this now, man. I'm letting you guys know. Beware of zombies. But before something like that even might happen, we don't know. Before something like that even might happen, grab yourself a piece of hot pizza. I think the pizza's hot. And let's enjoy George A. Romero's masterpiece, cultural touchstone, pillar of horror, pillar of genre entertainment. What's up, Christopher Bouchard? It's great to see you. Let's enjoy Night of the Living Dead. Here we go, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if the movie's too loud, and we will get where we need to get. I can never tell. I'll turn up my volume just a little bit. Maybe. Let me know if the movie's all right for you guys. Yeah, the classic TV set is back for this because this, as you know, Mark, this TV set and this layout is the Night of the Living Dead TV set. So that's how important this was to the live viewings. And once we did this, I said, why is the pizza not hot for my guests? And so now we have hot pizza. It's a great thing, man. I'm a little low in volume in comparison. All right, let's see what I can do here. I think I'm all the way up now, so let's see how that works. Let me drop it down, maybe drop the movie down just a little bit and let me know. And I can crank myself, maybe there's one more place I can raise the volume. Let me know. But yeah, watching this in the room, not just the TV. No, I have not watched the 2025 Wolfman yet, should I? Was the original Night of the Living Dead in 4x3? Yes, it was. Yes, indeed. Hot pizza and cold zombies. Amen, Lord Hinson. Yeah, and look at, I mean, this is what I love about what we can do on YouTube. We're not only watching the movie, but we're watching it in the room where the story takes place. I really want, with a few other things, you know? Surely it was in 68, John. Yep. 100%. And yeah, I know a lot of you were saying, let me see if I can go back to that comment here. Where was it? Because it was a great comment.
They
yeah, Terry
the
1111.
time changes the first day of summer.
That movie haunted me as a child.
Well, it's
Me
8
too.
o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this?
Look at
You
this.
know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
Legends.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, darn it, she can't. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Love this.
Back on? Oh. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problem.
And there you get the radio hint that something is going on. And what I love about it is the fact that this exact same thing was used in
the radio?
Shaun of the Dead, right?
Which row is it
Obviously
in?
referencing this movie. And you just think, people watch that and they think, wow, that's such a great idea. And it's like, it's all in this movie. It's all in this movie. You know, incredible. Just incredible stuff. Yeah, Mother is going to be sorely disappointed. And again, looking at this graveyard, I mean, my goodness.
You'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look,
Really
they
nice
only
shots.
lost an hour's sleep on the time change.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
There's Judy, man. Look at that. Or Barbara. I'm sorry, not Judy. Barbara. That's too funny. I think Judy is the other girl in the house, if I'm not mistaken. Of course it's Barbara.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things.
It's
We
amazing.
come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one.
Yeah, everything from 68's a little different. I should know, says Mark's Music Obsession. Amen, brother. Look at that.
Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh?
Wow. And, you know, that's all really great. They were talking about what they did for the lightning, and that it was the middle of the day. They couldn't get, or it was really bright out, so they had to get that reflective material right up on their faces, adjust the exposure, do all these tricks to make that effect work. Ingenuity.
Hey, I mean, praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here?
Wow.
It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boys, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
This is
stop
just
it now.
great.
I mean it.
Amen, John. Necessity is the mother of all invention. Thank you so
They're
much,
coming
man.
to get you, Barbara.
Well said.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Oh my gosh. I look at this stuff, and we've seen people raise so much money than these guys have. And they just can't, the imagination, the creativity, the skill. Someone asked me one time if I want to make a movie, and I said, I think I know better. Man, Johnny kind of holding his own against this zombie. Boom. Finishing up my copy of, Shadow's Voodoo Master, different breed of zombie, of course, but perfect fall reading. Yes, it is. 2 pocket pens and a pair of driving gloves. Nice. Yeah, he was living La Vida Loca before he went. And yes, it was, John. There's no doubt in my mind. That zombie was on something. You gotta love the shoes coming off. It's such a great horror thing. In some ways, they were doing stuff that was cutting edge. In other ways, they were doing stuff that was a real throwback. But George Romero knew his movies, and he had enough work working in commercials, making commercials, that he knew his craft. And if you understand your craft, your dollar goes further. You know, there has to be a lot of remakes in this movie. There's tons. And there's official remakes, unofficial remakes. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a classic. Every zombie movie or television show where zombies bite you and you become a zombie owes its life to this movie. You know? It's wild. Whether it's Walking Dead or anything else you see, it all starts with George Romero. Yeah, run and get the Pontiac Barb, yeah. So, breaking the glass there was something they had permission to do, but they'd have to replace the glass for a little added production value. But here's the part that's going to hurt a little bit, guys. This scene right here, where the car crashes, right? They added this shot in. You see what I mean? They added this shot in because she lost control of the car. Or sorry, they lost control of the car and they actually ran into a tree with it. So they actually damaged this car that one of their moms had let them borrow, her nice new Pontiac, and that she had kept in immaculate condition. So they just added this scene into the movie, but she couldn't have been happy. That couldn't have been a cheap repair. Judy's got the girl run down. And even though the zombies in Night of the Living Dead are known for their slow, meandering walk, this zombie picks up some speed. You know? There's a lot of old movies I can't watch anymore because they destroy classic cars that weren't classics yet. Every time I see one of those beautiful old classic cars get destroyed in a movie, a little part of me, guys, a little part of me goes, rough. And again, running and sliding, all that stuff. But let's see how this zombie moves. This guy defines zombie. So now he's slow, which you can understand. But he was running pretty fast before. Man. Love it, man. Love this movie. I'm you know what's funny is that horror as a genre has been getting big, but it really feels like it's taken off right now. And I don't think it's improved anybody's understanding of it, because people who understand it and are good are going to be few and far between. But I always think it's a great opportunity for us to go back and look at these classics and celebrate them, not try to interpret them in terms of our ridiculous, political way of approaching artwork, but just to marvel at the fact that this movie is about an idea, is about a primal human fear of death and the past. And it's completely given us a language for expressing a lot of different ideas. And yes, people are going to naturally, lesser artists are going to try to change it into something that's political as opposed to primal. But I've always said to people, what makes zombie movies their scariest is when the zombies are somebody you know. That's why they work so well in a small town. That's what makes them so scary. And I used to tell a story. Flutterbat, it's good to see you, Flutterbat. I used to tell my students when I was teaching a story, a zombie story, and I said, I want you guys to understand how drama works in a zombie movie. And I said, if there's a door and there's zombies pounding on the door, and I'm propped up against the door holding the doorknob from turning, and all of you guys are behind me bracing the door, right, and like helping me brace the door, and then all of a sudden the zombies go quiet. And this is when I had really young kids. And all of a sudden, I hear just a little tap on the door. And it's my daughter who was attacked by the zombies. And she's like 6 years old. Please, Daddy, let me in. She used to not say pick me up. She used to say pick you up, because we would say, do you want me to pick you up? She's like, pick you up. Pick you up. All of a sudden, we've got drama. All of a sudden, you're thinking, his hand looks like it's turning the doorknob to open. We gotta kill Shoth. One of those things. That's what makes the stuff dramatic. If it's zombies we all agree to hate, the only drama is we don't want to get attacked by them. But if you really want to turn that dial, that, my friends, is where you gotta go. And again, what little effects they had and money they had for effects, they weren't the best effects, but it was good drama. And that's what you need. Great introduction. Great happenstance. My personal opinion is that even though I don't think he was really ever going to be in the industry, he did some roles, you know, but it was, Hollywood's hard to break into.
It's all right.
Dwayne Jones, being a friend of theirs from film school and being willing to do this movie, was luck.
As soon as they find out about us.
I mean, he's got a great movie star face, and I've painted him before in one of my paintings called The Undead.
This pump out here is locked. Is there a key?
And he's got a fantastic face.
We're trying to get out of here if we can get some gas. Yep. Is there a key?
Zombie stories work well in cities like New Orleans. Yeah, they do. So do movies like Hard Target, of course, and Miller's Crossing. Great place to film a movie. If my 6-year-old, if I had one, was turned into a zombie, I might as well open the door. That's exactly right. You're absolutely right. That's what it is. This guy pretty much carries the whole movie. You're right. I will say that I think that Johnny did a great job, and I do think Barbara did a great job, because they had the worst, like, not the worst, but the most pedestrian dialogue. And they sold you on the scene. And Johnny's death was kind of tragic to watch, and Johnny's going to come back, as you know, in a big way. But that's the stuff that makes this fun. You know, that's the stuff I love about it. Actually, hang on a second. I'm going to see if I can... I don't know where the heck I put it.
There's some other people.
1 second. I want to see if I can find this.
Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
That has to be the quickest I've ever found a painting.
What's happening?
How do you think it's happening?
What's
There's my portrait of
happening?
Dwayne Jones. And then there's my portrait of Romero. And then who else have I got in here? Oh yeah. There's my small portrait of zombie number 1. See that?
There are 2 of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care
great
of those.
zombie characters.
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to...
don't know!
There you go.
What's happening?
Now, these were different times. And they are surrounded. And it's wild that he's explaining to us they don't like the lights. Damn. Dwayne. Yeah, Dwayne's got a great face. All these years later, I'm still pissed he doesn't look incredible. Of course, right? Of course. And that is very 60s. Very 60s. Yep. Great movie for the budget. A man called Plush says Carl Weathers' Apollo had untapped potential with a full-fledged action star career. He did. Yeah. Like the list of actors that we have that have been squandered is ridiculous. This film was also considered low budget by today's standards. Agree 100%. Yeah. And the Carl Weathers thing, I could think about that all day. You know what it was? They could never get Carl a good script. That was really the problem I had with it, because he was great, even in Mandalorian, when he came back and was doing Mandalorian on the big scene, you go, ridiculous. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Legend. And thank you, Mark, I appreciate that. And yeah, and they're gonna give you the gore. There's a little bit of nudity in this that I covered up or cut out, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I did. But, not that it's anything that's particularly titillating, I might add. But yeah, they really went for the gore. They were like, we've gotta get people in the theater, and we gotta shock them. And if this hadn't been so shocking, it wouldn't have happened, you know? The entire state of Virginia is a horror filmmaker's dream location, I agree. Yeah. We just need better filmmakers, you know? Or we need filmmakers with that creative insight. I mean, Evil Dead was filmed in Tennessee, for heaven's sake. I didn't know that when I was growing up there. I would have gone and visited the remains of that house if I had known that.
We're in here now.
And great compositions and lighting. I mean, this guy knew what he wanted to do. To be honest, kind of true. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I've spent some time in Virginia. I've driven through there on my way up to the Northeast, and then, of course, I've known people in Virginia. Of course, you know, I mean, gosh, you know, not even just going outside north to Washington, D.C., but it's beautiful country, and there have been some great horror movies out there. Same thing about certain parts of Maryland. Here's, of course, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's a lot of untapped potential out there. It's just imagination. Look around at what you have and think about what kind of story you can make. You know? They didn't leave Pittsburgh. You know? And they got Dwayne to come back to where he went to school to help with this. Yeah, the location was the reason that film worked. 100% why that film worked. Think about it. Lovecraft is so New England. You know, but they're like, we're taking it to Tennessee. You know, complete with, you know, the bridges and the book. I mean, they had no resources for that, man. No resources. And I love that movie. Yeah, leave no story untold, indeed. Yeah, and the cream will always rise to the top. One of my favorite documentaries I have is One by One, you know, whatever, on Evil Dead 1. They have so much behind-the-scenes footage of Evil Dead 1. Incredible stuff. Remember, guys, grab yourself a slice of this hot pizza here. It's for you. That's why we do it. God, look at all this, too. I mean, incredible. They went in, they built a road up to this house because there wasn't one.
You can find some woods.
Like, they go, there was a creek they kept trekking across. And one of the producers on the film, who had actual skills like some of you guys have, building things, goes, I'm going to build a bridge we can have cars drive over. And built a bridge, and then they made a road.
I'm afraid too.
This was an all hands on deck.
Try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But
The
we have to
character
work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand?
Was supposed to be kind of like, and they didn't change the script very much, if at all. I mean, Dwayne may have maybe ad-libbed a few things here and there, but was supposed to be a very gruff truck driver, and who wouldn't listen to anybody and knew what he wanted to do, thought he was right. There's still a little bit of that in Dwayne that people miss. But Dwayne's kind of theater voice, you know, you could tell, and he was a teacher who taught stage acting, I believe, for a number of years. But Dwayne brought something unplanned to this part and gave his character heart. So, very different movie. And of course, here's showing the independent film backgrounds. You know, yep, a crick. You know what we call it. When we lived in outside of Baltimore, Maryland, I had some cousins who lived in, I think it was Frederick. And we used to go over there, and there was a creek. We just planned creeks when we were kids. It was the greatest thing in the world, a creek. But here you go. Dwayne getting it done. It's like the A-Team up in here. Now, granted, if this was Mr. T, this would have gone down a lot different. Mr. T would have curb stomped those zombies. End of story. You know? But yeah, I like the idea. Do you guys ever do this? I get stories that I want to write in comic books all over the place. All sorts of things inspire me. But whenever I think about the idea of making a movie, it's always because I see something around me and I can imagine a story. You know, in a lot of ways, the stuff I do on this channel is my sort of fun with video, whether it's cutting trailers together or making short little animations or things like that. That's where I do it the most. But man, I love like looking at where you are and things around you to use. I never really imagine, you know, because I know this area the best. I don't always think I'd make a horror movie if only I lived here. I always think if I want to make a horror movie, this is what I've got. I pity the zombies. I did too as well. Did he like succulent Chinese meals? He did like succulent Chinese meals. You're cracking me up, man. Oh man, now I'm thinking about I want to order Chinese food. That's not good. That's incredible. Yeah, Mr. T would say, yes he would. He would say, leave the mothers out of this.
I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find.
Now he's trying to get her stuff together and work.
Yeah, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long before those things will be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And again, guys, this stuff looks simple, but this is what's in all bad films, is an absence of this. The compositions. That really beautiful, deep focus. Yeah, Barbara's in shock and catatonic, and he's trying to get her to move. You know, but she just lost her brother. Like, they've set up some really nice stuff. Yeah, just happened to have nails and boards and hammers handy. Well, you know, they usually
that's
do.
Where I found that truck I have out there.
In these movies. Although I think that they showed him pulling the beams off of things, which I thought was pretty good.
I jumped in to listen to it. When a
But
big
you're right,
gasoline truck came screaming right across the road.
Here it
There
goes.
must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it. Grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way.
Great shot. Really great shot.
Catching up to it.
I love that.
The truck went right across the road. Slammed
Yeah,
on my
I mean,
brakes to keep from hitting it myself.
The audience is always willing to give us a lot, right? And I, as an audience member, am, you know?
I guess I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner.
Oof.
It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas
Speaking of
pump,
horror,
never stopped moving.
I need a horror Blade
Right now, it's like a
film, but
moving
the
bonfire.
OG. Let me see. No powers, save for sensing the supernatural, and
Theo,
immunity to
trouble's going to
vampirism.
explode or
Wooden
what?
stakes, vampire bats, the whole nine. 1970s. Agreed.
Still, you're the man,
Yeah.
screaming.
Agreed. Yeah. I watched an interview with Gene Colan talking about the creation of Blade,
Thing
and
is
it was
just
just,
back
God rest
away
him,
from
it was
it.
great. Great to see him talk about it.
I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. It was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled.
Wow.
Wasn't a sign
Shaft
of life
plays
left.
Blade, not a bad idea. If you look at that early Blade illustration work, his first appearance, which I have and I love.
By now there were no more screams.
Yeah.
I realized that
Dwayne selling the
alone.
humanity.
with 50 or 60 of those things just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them.
These pauses.
They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there.
This is
staring at me.
Dwayne. This isn't in the script. Like, this is
I
performance.
just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
Imagine that same line delivered
Cemetery. Johnny and me.
more harsh.
Johnny.
Bruce Campbell's chin. Things are much scarier when they aren't named. You're absolutely right. Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
We came
Absolutely right.
to put a
But I just
wreath
think of the person
on
going,
my
I just
father's
wanted to
grave.
squash them like bugs.
Johnny and...
He didn't deliver
And
the
he
line
said-
as written, in a sense.
Can I have some candy? Barbara. We didn't have any.
She does a great job.
And... Oh, it's hot in here.
So many people in this, we'll look at them, but there's so many people who do a really solid job with their roles. Guys, I mean, if you're just watching this now, if you're on X, we got
And he
75
said,
people watching right now.
it's late. Why did we start so late?
Where the heck is it?
And I said, Johnny,
55 on X,
if you'd gotten up
20
earlier.
watching on
we
YouTube.
wouldn't
Thank
be
you guys
late.
so much. Appreciate you.
Johnny asked me if I were afraid. And I said,
So much
I'm
reverence
not
for this
afraid,
movie. I
Johnny.
love this movie. Piku
And
says,
then
original
this man
Blade,
started walking up the road.
a bunch of wooden knives on
He
a
came
bandolier, so he
slowly,
could use them.
And Johnny kept
So he
teasing
could,
me and
them
saying,
for staking,
"He's
if I
coming
remember
to get
correctly.
you,
Yes.
Barbara."
Yep.
And I laughed at him and said, Johnny, stop it.
Yeah. Hello
And then
over there on X.
Johnny
Yeah.
ran away.
Amen.
And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And
The
I looked
original
up,
Blade,
and I
Peter
said,
Cushing, as Van Helsing.
And he
Well
grabbed me.
represented.
He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Also got Blade back there, too. For that.
I screamed, Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me! And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And then Johnny came and he ran and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran.
You know what's interesting? I'm just realizing now,
Johnny
right?
didn't come.
With this, is that
We have to wait for Johnny.
there's this interesting thing I've never noticed before. Yeah, Snipes' Blade is,
We better
I
go
can't
out
even
and get
say
him.
enough about it. You know?
We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've
My
got
dear,
to
Johnny's
go out
dead.
and get him. Please, we have got to go get Johnny. Please help me. Please.
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother
No
is
Sunday
alone.
school picnic.
Your brother is dead.
No, my brother is not dead.
I believe he is. Uh-oh. No, Dwayne. Dwayne! What's up, Alpha channel member? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you. Yeah, Dwayne was not a fan of this scene. He was not a fan of this scene. Krabby Patty's dying. Give the woman her slap or two, set her straight. Yeah, so Dwayne wasn't a fan of this scene. He goes, you can't have in 1968, this is George Romero's version of it anyway, because you can't have a black man in 1968 punch a white woman in the face. And George Romero said, well, when we wrote it, we weren't thinking about the guy being black. He's white. And he goes, well, he's black now. I feel like Dwayne was the only person who had any kind of sense of what was going on in this flick, for God's sake. Like, in terms of how things could be perceived. This is great.
And because of
Watch
the
this
crisis
bit.
which is even now developing, this
Let me
radio
see if I can
station
find
will
this.
remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds
There
of
you
other
go. Now
radio
it's
and
working.
TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an
This chair doesn't
emergency
fall.
network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an
This
epidemic
is my
of mass
Mezco
murder
Blade
being
figure
committed
with
by
a
virtual
custom
army of unidentified
Wesley
assassins.
Snipes
The
face
murders are
portrait.
taking place in villages,
That's
cities, rural
how
homes,
into
and
Blade I
suburbs
am, with a
with
custom
no apparent
jacket,
pattern or
custom
reason
vest,
for the slaying.
which it looks
It
like
seems
part
to
of
be
it's
a
fallen
sudden,
off
general
again.
explosion of mass homicide. We have
And the
some
sword.
descriptions of the assassins.
There you go.
Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being So, at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine
All right,
if any
there we
kind
go.
of
Got that
organized
back in order.
investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff deputies,
Boom.
and emergency ambulances.
Yeah, Blade is the
literally
man.
deluged with
There
calls
is
for help.
only one Blade. There
Scene
will
can
only
thus
ever
be
be
described as
one
mayhem.
Blade.
Mayors of
Well
Pittsburgh,
said.
Philadelphia, and Miami,
Well
along with the
said.
governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the
Man,
nature
this
of
is
this
some
crisis
creepy
has been
stuff.
determined, and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions.
They were actually getting
crisis
local
develops further.
newscasters from the Pittsburgh
Thousands of
area.
office and
I
factory
love
workers
this.
are being urged to stay at their
You got the
places of
sense
employment,
that you could make a
not to
movie
make
from
any
anywhere,
attempt
and you
to get
still
to their
can.
homes. However, in
Probably
spite of
easier
this
now
urging
than it's
and
ever
warning,
been,
the
except for
streets
the
and highways
ideas, the
are
skill,
packed
the
with
creativity.
frantic people trying to reach
You
their
know.
families, or apparently to
Let me
relieve
see here.
just anyone.
When this story was written, the race of the characters wasn't an issue. It was about talent. Thank you. Absolutely right. And because Dwayne Jones was cast, I feel like there have been generations of film historians who want to make it only about, like, or want to make Dwayne Jones' character about race. And Dwayne Jones' character is about something very specific when you watch this movie. We're going to talk about that too. But he is trying to survive a situation with what he knows best, that's based on him being a trucker and based on him valuing his independence and his individual liberty and all sorts of other interesting qualities. Like, he doesn't want to be holed up. He wants to take the fight to them, which is interesting when you think about the end of this. Yeah, it has, it was a much better time. Society had sense, yeah. Well, I'd say his circle of friends had sense, and that's all you can really count on, right? You know, there's always going to be craziness around us. I bet the 1968 wasn't ideal everywhere, but it doesn't mean it was crazy everywhere either. You know, it's so strange.
Have joined their facilities in an emergency network.
Because they didn't just pick their friend. They said, we picked the best actor in the group to head the movie. Common Sense made this movie a success. Yeah, well, back when adults were in charge, I'm not sure. I don't know if adults were in charge in the late 60s as much, but I think that we were starting to see adults get respect starting in about the late 70s. I think that's when you really started to see it. Yeah, he's a brave man for pulling the hammer that far back. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. There was a little bit of performing. I'm not saying he's never swung a hammer before, but there was definitely a let me see ya. You know? Yeah, and who was the most available and cheapest? Well, I have to tell you. That, like, I don't know who was the cheapest. You know, that's a really good question in this cast. Because, almost everybody, the people working behind the camera, there were people who you'll see in this movie. The guy who's going out with the shotgun at the end, cleaning up and killing all the zombies. He was a financier, so he was actually paying to be in this film. And Dwayne was their friend from college who agreed to do it. Man, I tell you what, it's good to have a circle of friends where people have talent. And by the way, the great thing about that is that it did open some doors for Dwayne. And he used to joke about when he was teaching theater to students, he found himself one time in a pizza place or a diner, interestingly enough, and Night of the Living Dead was playing in the background, and he had never talked about that he was in that movie. He never just went on about it, because he goes, you know, I'm a man of many qualities. He's such an interesting guy, eccentric guy. And his students saw it, they just were looking at the movie, looking at him like, can you imagine them just going, our teacher is in that movie. Oh, what a gangster, man. So cool. I love hearing that story.
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
I did a video when I was painting Dwayne Jones for that painting, and I didn't talk during it. I just played the last recorded interview that he did where he talks about this movie.
This place is boarded up pretty solid now.
It just put me in the zone when I was
painting. We gotta be all right here for a while.
You know?
We have the gun,
and for those of you guys
bullets, food, and
who are
radio.
coming in later, I'll do it this way.
Sooner or later, someone
got it working.
Bound to come and get us out.
There you go. This right here is my painting Undead Medley. And there is my tribute to Dwayne Jones. There is my tribute to George A. Romero.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me.
My tribute to Zombie number 1 in this movie. There is my creepy tribute to Linnea Quigley in Return of the Living Dead. And then, of course, from the movie Walking Dead,
I'll be back to reinforce
Boris
the
Karloff,
windows and doors later.
and of course the late great Vincent Price makes an appearance. But the centerpiece for this painting is, of course, Dwayne Jones, the ultimate zombie hero as far as I'm concerned,
that murder victims show
and a
evidence
legend.
of having been partially devoured.
Yeah, hail all, man. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love this stuff, man. I love movies. I love comics. Oh, excellent, Tammy. It's great to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in good shape. Because I was talking for about 25 to 30 minutes of this stream. I was just jabberjawing it. So, there you go. You're a little late, but you're on time.
To the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were
Here it
killing
is.
and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered.
Originally, the title of this movie was Night of the Flesh Eaters.
Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murdered victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers
So when we do radio shows on Pizza
killed.
Live, that's the radio we use.
So
I did a whole other backdrop and interactive that has a radio. Yeah, this is the best movie. I love it.
These are the reports we have been receiving and passing on
And
to you.
here you go.
Reports which have been verified as
I
completely
love
as
this
is
part.
possible in
This
this
is such a great
situation.
wrinkle in the story.
It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
Don't shoot! We're from town. A radio.
County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified by their slayers is true. No further details available at this time. However,
How long you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How were we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody if needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in
And
the
I
house
want to point
afterwards.
this out.
And you wouldn't come up and help.
That
there were more. The racket sounded like the place was
he
being
is
ripped
just,
apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
he did such a great job as the unlikable dude in this as well. You know, just great. What a great entrance. A radio. Yeah, I know.
All right, now you
Ever read the
tell me.
sequel novel by Russo? I have
I'm
not.
gonna take that kind of a chance
What a
when we got a
great,
safe place.
he did such a great
We look
job
into
in
a
this,
safe
by the way.
place, and you're
Really
telling
great
us we
job
gotta risk
acting. I
our
mean,
lives
he
just because
anchored
somebody
this
might
movie
need
in
help,
that
huh?
opening scene.
Yeah, something like
I guess people
All
in
right,
the
why don't we
area
settle
who
this
die
out,
become
mister?
zombies, and a
We
bus
came up.
crashes.
Okay, we're
The
here.
the townspeople
Now, I
rush to
suggest we all go
destroy
back
their brains,
downstairs
but it's too
before any
many.
of those things find
Wow,
out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
that's great.
Got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah,
All but the
same
few
page,
spots
Tammy. Yeah,
upstairs.
that's right.
They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest
Yep.
place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. Kids are...
Yeah, he was so good in this.
Well, I
People
still think we're better
being
off.
a likable character in a movie
We could strengthen everything up. Mr.
is
Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no
you're
time.
gonna
We have
get a little
everything we
bit
need up here.
of
We can
love
take
there,
all
but being
that
a
up downstairs
weasel,
with us. Man, you're really crazy. You know
this
that?
guy's a
You
bit of
got
a
million
weasel,
windows
but
up
he
here.
does
All
it
these
well.
windows, You're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
If he was a
Those
terrible
windows have
actor,
any
this
strength.
would have been
I
a
smashed
bad
3 of them
movie.
and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me?
I'm
when
telling
I
you,
told
and I'm
they
telling you
turned over
now.
our car?
And I
Italians with 5 men can do
you
that.
tell
That's my
me,
point.
telling you.
Only there's
Yeah.
not going to be 5 or
That's
even
his thing.
10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as
Yep.
soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar.
Hey, evening,
The
how's
cellar,
your father?
there's only
Welcome.
one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside.
This
Up
is
here,
the
all these
important
windows,
part.
Why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But
Yeah.
down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't
This
even know
is the
it.
part.
The cellar is the
Yes.
strongest place.
Yep.
The cellar is a death trap.
Love this.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper.
They're having an intelligent debate, and here's something George Romero talks
You know how
about,
many's
and I
out there?
can't
I don't know.
overstate
6 or 7.
this.
Look,
It's gonna be
you
hard to
two can do
hear
whatever you like.
unless you've
I'm
already heard
going
it.
back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door,
In the
and I'm
end,
not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
This
Now,
guy
wait.
is right
No, I'm
about the
not gonna
safest
wait.
place.
I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this.
And the
We can make
decisions
it to
that
the cellar
Dwayne
if we
makes
have to.
get people
And if we do
killed.
decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up
Think
here.
about that for a minute.
So let's at least consider
Yep.
this a while.
Yes, I was just about to say that, Krabby Patty. They had to have been influenced by 12 Angry Men in terms of
At least
what,
up here you have a fighting
creating
chance.
drama in a small space. I mean, 12 Angry Men was so influential, they used it as the basis for the meetup in Reservoir Dogs and doing all the debates that they had
A lot
there.
out back, too.
Just great. Yeah, 12 Angry Men is incredible. And then here you go. Look, here's our first bit of evidence they can get in through the windows. This is the funniest thing in the world. They had this bad clay hand with fake blood in it. And George Romero's like, it still looks terrible. Boom. Look at that. I don't know if I would trust a first-time squib person to do that, but you know what I mean. Chocolate and syrup for blood. Yep. Brains, says Tammy. Yep. Boom. Look at that. You know, I also have to say, not for the... Like, if it's lit well, and this is where we start to learn things, we gotta shoot them in the head. Can't shoot them anywhere else. Yeah, the genius of practical effects. You know what's so funny is, I was going to talk about this a little bit earlier, but you just made me think of it. You guys can... Oh, God, I should have cut that part out. We'll just skip ahead a little bit there. I thought I had that bit edited over, so just a jump. We'll see how we do.
Everything else is up here too. Because if I stay
But yeah,
up
the
here,
thing about
I'm
this
fighting for everything up
is
here. The
that
radio
when
and
you're
the food's
looking
part
at
of
it,
what I'm
and when
fighting
you're
for.
looking at the
Now,
stuff
if you're
that
going
they
down the
do,
cellar again,
please say hello to Mrs. Shant. I absolutely will.
insane.
I absolutely will.
We've got to have
But the
food
thing
down
that
there.
makes this
We've got a right
so
to
interesting
your
to
house.
me
We've got
and
a right.
makes this...
You going down there with him?
Who knows?
Yes
Who knows
or
what
no?
that
This
was?
is your last chance. Go beat
But the
around
thing
the
that
bush.
makes it so interesting is the fact
listen, I
that
got a kid
Judy
down
is
there.
suffering
She can't
from
I couldn't bring her up here. She
survivor's
can't
guilt.
possibly take all the racket and those things smashing
It's
through the
very
windows.
similar
Well, you're her father.
to
If you're
David
stupid enough to
Kessler
go die in that trap,
in
that's your
American
business.
Werewolf.
However, I am not stupid enough to follow you.
You know, in American
It's
Werewolf...
tough for the kid. That old man is so stupid.
Damn,
Now, get the hell down in the
Dwayne,
cellar.
throwing it
You can
down.
be the
But
boss
David
down
Kessler
there.
is haunted
I'm
by
boss up
when
here.
push came to shove, he left his friend. Even though he went back, he ran. And that's what she's
I
dealing
want to open this
with.
door again. I mean,
She just ran and took
Mr. Cooper,
off.
with your help, we could...
And that's an interesting thing to
Let
me.
him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
I thought about this the entire movie,
Wait a minute.
actually.
Judy, come on up here, honey.
Oh, yeah. This movie, I saw this movie when I was young, too. They were playing it a lot on
You're welcome
cable
to get hurt,
television,
too,
and
huh?
it freaked me out, too.
Sorry, honey. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coward's Guilt. Absolutely right. And I like that the characters were flawed and they spent time on
If
it.
we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run
This
to up
guy
here.
is super positive,
Mr.
man.
Cooper,
Bless his heart, but
We'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
I don't think it's going to help him out too much, as you know.
Hey.
You've seen this before. It's not going to help
Hey,
anybody
kid.
out in this flick, but... Yep. Majority of the practical effects
wrong,
were made
you know.
after casting to
I'm not boxing
ensure that
myself
they
in down
blended
there.
in seamlessly. Yeah. Absolutely.
On the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary
So now she's admitting that she heard the screaming, and you can see he has no survivor's guilt to show exactly how each character is and showing how differences clash. Yes. I always think that zombie movies, if you want to make them uplifting, are about people who are very different being forced into an environment
Where'd you
and
get the
having
bandage?
to get on with each other in order for a common
Laundry
goal
in
to
a
happen.
basket. I tore a sheet.
You know? And I think that that's the problem, is in a lot of the movies, we kind of just show the worst parts of people. You know, where it just turns into... all people will become Lord of the Flies, which is very much about that time when that book was written. All humanity left to its own devices is evil, purely, and that's not what the story is
me, let
about.
them in down here.
You know?
That's
I
important.
mean, that's a very
to be right.
it's
everybody
just
else
as
to be wrong.
romantic.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
yeah,
Whatever it is, it isn't just
yeah. That's right.
happening
Yeah,
here.
working in an
Some
ER,
kind
if you
of
didn't experience
mass
classes,
murder
Tammy, I don't know
going
what to
on
say.
everywhere.
Plus,
Radio
now
said
we
to
learned
stay
they got a
inside.
possible zombie bite victim
Radio upstairs,
with
I heard a
them, which
newsboy.
obviously
There's a
puts
radio
everyone in
upstairs
danger.
and you boarded
Yep.
us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What
A
did
zombie
it say?
apocalypse would
Nothing.
end discrimination in general.
They don't know
Agreed.
anything yet. There's
Yep.
mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the
Wow.
authorities know what's happening,
They're
they'll
ghouls,
send
not
people
zombies,
for us
agreed.
to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in
That's
this
what they
dungeon?
called them. That's what they call them in the movie. That is a fascinating thing, isn't it? Fascinating. I always think about that they refer to them as ghouls
We may not enjoy living together,
and not zombies.
but dying
but
together isn't going to solve anything.
They're zombies.
Those
Because
people
that's
aren't our
what we
enemies.
decided. Yeah. Should consider, let me see. Oh, shoot, hang on a second. Should consider Rumble for uncut streams. No, this is not an excuse to see Hammer Women or Sybil Danning. But hey,
Judy will
I
come
mean,
downstairs
causality.
for a few minutes.
You're right.
Harry and I
Man
can
called
come
Flesh.
upstairs.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, right away.
After watching Alien Earth's last episode, this dialogue is curing my depression. Oh, guys.
Look, honey, nothing's going to get done with
I talked about this before. I saw Jaws in the movie theater for the first time. Mrs. Engetti wonderfully
Okay, open up.
surprised me by taking me to see Jaws, and it was outstanding. Outstanding. And watching the trailers before Jaws was even more painful than anything I saw in the movie, because it was just such a. The scripts were terrible. Everything was just this over CGI'd AI art looking Technicolor vomit, for lack of a better way of putting it, and it was just terrible. How did it go from ghouls to zombies? I think people just saw it and were like, they're zombies, you know, and just it's crazy, you know. It's the zombie thing is. It's a fascinating thing, but people just looked at this and it just fit. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's an exact moment when you can track down when that started happening, but everybody knows this is the first zombie movie, and I'm almost positive, in fact, that they never used the word zombie in this. Not once. They do use the word ghouls, which I love that word. Ghouls is a great word.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
I'm pretty sure I've used that in my comic, Nosfero. I think. I'm pretty sure I do. But it's a great word. I love the way that word sounds. Actually, now you got me wondering. I feel like I did somewhere. I mean, I know I used the word ghoul, but I think I named a character. Yeah, there it is once. Murnau Gulroth, which is a... I put that in a name, which is a nod to Murnau, the director of Nosferatu and this creature.
Don't be afraid of me.
Look at that.
I'm Helen Cooper.
She's really
Harry's
good too.
wife.
Yeah, she ain't right.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Boy, he's a catch, isn't he?
Her brother was killed.
Talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
15 million is a bit of a weird guess, dude. I mean, I don't know what the U.S. population
Why don't you do something to
is.
help somebody?
Yeah, he's not really a doer. He's kind of more of a complainer, art director.
There's a socket over here.
And here we go, guys. Here's our television set that we're watching it on.
Try to understand what's going on.
Dude,
I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on. There's no sound.
Here you go, guys.
Play with the rabbit ears.
And I actually edited it so the TV screen fits inside once it gets going.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this?
Shut up.
In all parts of the country.
Here you go.
The wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims.
How meta is
First
that?
eyewitness accounts of this grisly
Here we are.
came from people who
Watching
were understandably
ourselves.
frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness
I love this movie.
descriptions
It's
as
so
being
good.
beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. And medical examinations of some of the
Craziness.
victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured.
Oof. Nice Dutch
I
angle
think we
there
have
for
some
this.
late word of just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington.
Whenever it goes to a close-up, I always try
It
to
has
frame
been
it
established that persons
with
who
the
have recently
TV action,
died
so you'll see in a
have
second.
been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio
when shots
and
like this
television
happened,
was
I didn't think
advising
you need a
people to stay
double-rimmed TV
inside,
there.
behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed.
This is a real newscaster from the Pittsburgh area. He wrote his own dialogue. They gave him what they needed, basically.
To provide rescue
That's why it
stations
feels
with food,
good. Feels
shelter,
authentic.
Medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay
Yep,
tuned
the word
to
zombie
broadcasting
is
stations
copyrighted
in your
or something.
local area
Why
for this
The
list
Walking
of
Dead
rescue
never
stations.
says zombie.
This
Wow.
list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station.
Yep. Oh wait, I'm looking for
nearest
something
you.
new to watch. We're
Make
crappy.
your way to that
Oh, after
location
watching Alien
as
Earth,
soon
I
as
got you.
possible.
So we have that truck. We'll get some gas, we can get out of here. There's a pump
10%
out by
skill,
the shed.
90%
I
psychology.
know that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Emergency meeting called
Yeah,
this
zombie
afternoon
is.
by the president.
If you
the
turn
meeting,
your
this
brain,
conference of the presidential cabinet,
turn off your
the
brain,
FBI,
it's a 6 out of
Joint
10
Chiefs
for
of
Alien
Staff,
Earth.
the
Wow, I didn't know
CIA
that.
has not
Yeah,
produced any
great.
public
Always trying to
information.
give you guys attention to
Why
detail, guys.
are space experts
Sean,
being
is this
consulted about
caused
an
by space
earthbound
radiation?
emergency?
Yep.
So far, all
Any
the
personal
betting
theories?
on the
Yes, it is.
answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite
Here it
shot
is.
to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here.
That's
the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it.
Yeah.
Could that
My
radiation be somehow
sense is,
responsible
even
for
though
the
they
wholesale
say
murders we're now suffering?
they say, oh well, it's
Newsman
not really,
Don
and George
Quinn
Romero
in
has said,
Washington
well,
has posed those
the dead
questions.
come back to life because there's no more room in hell,
How are you going to get over to that pump?
which sounds cool. Here it
We're
is.
coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the
This
Venus
all
rover.
is filmed around the meteor.
Yes, that was
so,
the
yeah.
subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a connection between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection. A definite connection.
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been
only logical
irrefutably
explanation that we
proved.
have at this time.
In other words, it is the military's viewpoint that
And these
the
are
radiation
great
is not
answers.
the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen.
This seems to
I
be...
must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Here it is.
Everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting.
Where have we heard this before?
Professor,
About
you
a
feel that there
million
is a definite
times,
connection
right?
between the...
Definite connection as far
Isn't
as
that
Dr.
funny?
Keller and myself.
Doctor,
Everything is being
please,
done that
I
can
thought we
be done.
decided that is not proved yet.
Was the satellite, when the satellite was exploded?
Unusual amount of radiation, enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances.
Could have happened.
Have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing.
Will there be a reply for this?
Later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon.
Look at that.
There will be
History
there will be a
repeats
report
itself,
this
and we
afternoon.
don't learn
Perhaps there will be
anything.
Yes. Later.
It's.
we are
Actually, I don't want to be that nihilistic. We
have
haven't
to try to
figured
get out
out
of here.
yet
He said the rescue stations
that
have
division
dollars
is
and
the
medical
goal.
supplies. If we could get
It's
care
so
in there, we could get
obvious.
help for her.
No, it's one of the world's foremost authorities
Really frustrating
on space
sometimes.
science and technology.
You know?
I saw a sign that said Willard.
Any moment.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
There it is.
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the
Yep,
lady
divide
upstairs
and
dead.
conquer. That's right.
Then these other people came. We went down into the basement.
You want to
and
unite
put a
with
bar
people
across the
based
door, and
on
it is
shared
pretty strong.
beliefs, and at
How
least
can
in
we
this country, in
possibly
my
get away
opinion,
from here?
belief in
We've got a
liberty,
sick child,
understanding
two
the
women,
rule of
one woman
the Constitution,
out of her
rule
head,
of
three
law, that
men,
kind of
and
stuff.
the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA.
But
Dr.
to
Grimes,
divide up
your
based
entire
on
staff, I know, has
on
been
team
working
is
very hard
ridiculous
to
to
find
me.
some solution to
You know?
these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way.
Here you
We
go.
don't know yet what complications might result from such.
So now we're getting a little
bad has your
tip
kid
that if
been
you're
hurt?
injured, you got to be concerned.
Oh.
There's literally no way now it could be
Look,
more
you go down there
obvious,
and
yet
tell-
more than half of
You know,
society
Judy?
still walks around.
Yeah, you
with
tell
masks
Judy
on.
to come up here and you stay
Yep.
with the kid, all right?
action taken with regard to the Venus probe. In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which
This
all
stuff
four
is so
limbs
good.
had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move.
This is scary stuff that doesn't require special effects, just great dialogue and great believability.
Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes?
Wow.
Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
I mean,
you're right. It doesn't give them time to make
good
funeral
stuff.
arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street.
This is part of the reason
and
zombies
burned.
are referred to as
They
the
must
diseased.
be burned immediately.
Yes.
Soak them with gasoline and burn them.
Yep.
The
you guys
bereaved
know.
will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give.
I cannot tell you
they're just dead
all the
flesh
movies we
and
watch.
dangerous.
I will find something in it I like, even if they're insane.
Strips, okay?
Because
Is there a fruit
I know
cellar
how
here?
hard it
Yes.
is just
We need some bottles or jars. Make Molotov cocktails.
see
Hold them out
how
while we
few
try to
films
escape.
are
Hey, there's a
interesting.
big can of kerosene down
This
there.
is.
I'll see what I can find.
But
I'll
I
look
have
for the bottles.
so much reverence for what they accomplished here.
Or maybe a key to the
Great
gas pump
movie,
on it.
man. Just
I'll check.
fantastic.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs.
Sometimes,
Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave a door open someplace.
sometimes
Yeah,
the
that's right.
pieces come
Gotta
together,
be this
man.
door.
That's
It's closer to the truck.
that serendipity being helped by hidden hands. However you view
While
it.
we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in there.
I found some fruit
Just
jars
this
in the
movie
cellar.
is special.
And there's a key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
You're it then. You and I'll go.
Boom.
We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door.
Look at that.
You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we'll have to get back in quickly.
And again, these guys, you know what's interesting too,
After
when
we
you
get
look
the
at these
gas,
guys,
we get
like
back into
Tool
the house.
says, I know
Then we'll worry
pieces
about getting
fit.
everybody
Yeah,
into the
man.
truck.
I actually saw them
Now,
live,
let's
I
move
think. Yeah, and also the reason Resident Evil is so popular. There you go. But guys, here's something else that's really kind of cool about it. Do you notice how many different faces we get? Like, everyone is recognizable. You know? She looks different than the wife of, El Duce.
You always have a smile for
He
me.
looks different than the other
can you
people.
smile
The
like that all the
newscaster looks different. It's like
How many
everybody's
have
the
done?
same age now when people are casting. It's really strange, you know?
Come on, honey, we gotta move.
It just doesn't make for good art.
Tom, are you
I
sure
mean,
about
God, the
the phone?
faces
The phone
and
is
jaws
dead
of all the
out.
different actors.
All you get is a recorded message.
Incredible. Love
If I could
this.
only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
Wow.
I know. Tom? Are you sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What, about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah, it's all
television said that's
plastic
the right
surgery
thing
now,
to do.
probably.
We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey, you're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
But we're safe in here.
For how long, honey? We're safe
I want everybody
now,
to just take a
but there's
moment to
gonna be more
remember
and more
he
of those
said
things.
he could handle the
I
gas
know all
pump.
that.
Oh my God, no, you can't.
Remember
Yeah.
when we had the big flood?
Tool's one of my favorite bands.
Remember
Sober
how
is one of my
difficult it
favorite
was
songs of
for
all
us to
time.
convince you that it
Yeah, I
was
used to have a
right till
Tool
we-
sticker on my sketchbook
Remember
that I
when
got
we
when
had
I
to
saw
go
them
to Willard
live.
then? This isn't a passing thing, honey.
Oh yeah, John. Yep.
It's not like just
Absolutely
a wing passing through. We've got to do something.
They look and dress like the character they're portraying, or at least how we expect those characters to be. Agreed. Absolutely
I
agreed.
just don't want you to go out there, that's all.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're sure no use at all, are you? We've got work to do, honey. And you...
Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, God. Oh. When you see this movie, I don't think it makes it better.
We're
It
going to
makes
get her
it worse.
downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just
And
for
Barbara's
the
another
we get
classic
back.
character that you see in both horror
Then we can all
movies and
leave.
any kind of tough
Oh,
movie.
like to leave. Yes.
Oh, God. She actually kind of reminds me of the catatonic daughter in Death Wish and Death Wish 2. Just horrible stuff, man. Yeah, this guy at least had good intentions, though, and isn't that important when it comes to liking characters? You're rooting for him.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Says good luck to his buddy. That hook set her straight. Grabbing Patty. No! No! Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't come alive, sadly. Yeah. Well, we'll get there. Yeah, they tried to get the same location for Return of the Living Dead, but the landscape changed dramatically. Now, had they torn the house down? Because I know the house was planned to be torn down. Tari, how are you doing, my friend? I missed 1 hour of good stuff. Well, it's better now that you're here, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I mean, did they tear the house down right after this movie? Because I know it was scheduled to be torn down, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And they've got those great table legs, torches, and here you go, Molotov cocktails. Because there's no movie where someone didn't know how to make those cocktails, man. Wow. Yeah, it probably became an attraction. I wouldn't doubt it. The Blair Witch House had to get torn down because it became an attraction. It was too dangerous. I'm good, everybody. What's happening, man? Night of the Living Dead and just celebrating this flick and hanging out and having pizza. Yeah, it is a bummer. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, I'd love that if this house still stood. It's the birth of a genre. The local drink. Yeah, it is the local drink. You're right.
Go ahead, go on.
A cocktail you don't want to have one of. Molotov is some Russian dude, right? It is. It's a vodka. Wait a second. He just ripped that guy's shirt off, and I'm like, that's a little bit odd.
I'm going with them.
Get back in the cellar. Go.
Uh-oh. She had to run. And then he locks the door immediately.
Where's it coming? Come on.
There you go. Man, these are great shots, great storytelling. You can follow it. They eventually did, but quite a few people tried to prevent it. Nice. Yeah, it's God, it's tough, man. Some of these houses, they're just beyond repair. And we had a house on our street that has a lot of significant historical value falling down for years and years and years. And then finally, someone came in and totally fixed it up. We never thought that was going to happen. Incredible. But some you just can't save. And yeah, what a location. I'd love someone to be rich enough to buy that property and build it. They should have a national zombie museum there, for God's sake, or a horror movie museum. Yeah. Krabby Patty's on fire tonight, man. Great shot. Really good shot. So now they drive over to the gas pump near the barn. Thank God those zombies don't run. Here's, I did a version of this for the thumbnail.
Come on. This key won't work. Watch it.
So the key didn't work. He says he has a lot of experience with gas pumps.
What's the torch?
He just sprayed the car with gas. I'm just throwing that out there, guys. I mean, he soaked the back wheel. I mean, come on. Yeah, no kidding. Now that car is going to use more gas with the additive.
Hang on.
Well, as you know, you're more right than you know. So they go driving off. And I gotta tell you, I don't know what the safety protocol was on this set, but you have to imagine for a low-budget film, that was a lot. My God, dude.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
My jacket's caught.
Her jacket was caught. Yeah, I hope it wasn't working at a gas station before he ended up here, because a lot of people would have been gone because of that. Look at that. Look at that stuff. Yeah, I agree. There would be a Zoolander-like gas station explosion if so. Yeah. So those zombies fear fire. Yep. And let's talk about another influential series of movies. Frankenstein fears fire. We know this. He doesn't like fire. And then when Bela Lugosi played, Frankenstein's monster doesn't like fire. And then when Bela Lugosi played the monster and his vision was damaged, he walked around like this. So you can credit Universal with a lot of zombie, a lot of the standard zombie things. And that's impressive. Yeah. Never liver, Tammy. Why is it the brains? Why not the liver? I don't know. I guess people just don't like to eat liver. Mark's Music Obsession says so. Yeah, this is where miniatures come into play, absolutely. By the way, when I see movies with special effects and practical effects, people who make miniatures blow my mind. There are YouTube videos of people making miniatures that look exactly the same. Yeah, he kicks this guy's ass for locking the door.
I'd drag you out there and feed you those things.
Yep. What a little weasel. Yep, best part in the whole damn movie. Yeah, there you go. Sometimes somebody needs an ass kicking. Now this is out of order. I want to throw this out there, okay, guys? These guys are largely extras. They went to a butcher shop and grabbed various things. And their extras ate or put those things in their mouths. It's gross. Yeah, the flaming truck was a miniature. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's incredibly well done. No. Whatever they weren't paying these people wasn't enough. Oh, for God's sake. I'm not having it. Yeah, and a little Chianti. That's right. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah, it's gross.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet?
So he's been punched. She's like, isn't it 3 yet?
There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
10 minutes.
There you go. D Handy
Only
1984. Where is Shane's cat video right now?
We don't have very long
where
to
it is.
wait.
But we need
We
it.
can leave.
It's how you fire people
we
up.
better leave soon.
I can't do but liver. Yeah.
10 minutes to
Chianti I can
3.
do but not liver, yeah. I like to tell you this. When I was a kid, we ate... What are the kinds of things we used to put on
You know anything
for
about
sandwiches?
this area at all? I mean, is
Chicken
really the
spread.
nearest town?
And you guys remember chicken spread?
I don't
Vienna
know.
sausages, deviled ham,
We were
and liverwurst. Oscar Mayer
just
liverwurst.
trying to get to a
Everything a growing
motel
boy had in
before
my
dark.
fridge.
You say those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive
Yeah,
it?
car
Where
and
is
truck
it?
designs were simple and easy to recreate. Well, from your lips to God's ears, man. Even with a model kit and glue, I will tell you, I can paint, but I'm all
Forget it.
thumbs with model
It's at
kits.
least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gonna carry that child a mile?
Yeah,
Through that
wasn't
army
sure
of
of the
things
spelling.
out
There you
there?
go.
I can carry the kid.
Thanks
What's
for
wrong with her? How'd she
using
get
the
hurt?
session. Tammy says, wasn't sure about the spelling.
One of those
I remember
things
Chicken
grabbed
Run.
her.
I absolutely
Hit
do.
her on the arm.
Pitty Moss says, yes. Liverwurst is
What's
good,
wrong?
Raul Julia. Respect.
Knows what kind of disease those things
You know what
carry.
I'm talking about.
Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Yeah, he's starting to put it together. Guys,
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You're gonna
this
turn it over by yourself?
zombie movie is ground
You have a
zero
car?
for all
Where
of
is
this
it?
stuff.
You won't be able to
Oh,
stop.
Braunschweiger
Yeah, I
is
know,
the
but
best
where
with
is
some
it?
Munster cheese. Yeah. So, as some of you guys know, I'm a fourth Austrian, so I used to fly over to Austria, where my family was in Linz. And we would stop in Frankfurt in Austria on our way to India, and that is when I had to put on the body weight before I went to India and was sick for 2 weeks. Holy cow, man. That food was just not for us. It was not. We were eating the family food, and that is just our systems
Being
weren't built for it.
monitored closely by scientists at all
And
the radiation
but man, I
protection
love
stations.
Austrian and
At
German
this
food.
hour,
It's so
they report
good.
the level of the mysterious radiation
Just give me
continues
Wurstels
to
and
increase steadily.
Kreisnucks and
So long as this
Knettels
situation
and Schnitzel
remains,
and all that stuff. I
government
love
spokesmen
it.
warn that
You know,
dead
even
bodies
just
will
some like
continue to be transformed
Gurkies with
into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who
vinegar
die during
and
this crisis, from
and
whatever
oil.
cause,
So good,
will
man.
come
That
back
stuff
to
is
life
great.
to seek human victims unless
Yeah,
their
that's great
bodies
stuff.
are first
I love that
disposed
stuff.
of by cremation. Our news cameras
Oh, you have a family in
just
Black Forest
returned
area in Germany. No
from covering
kidding,
such
man.
a search
Wow.
and
That's
destroy
awesome.
operation against
Yeah, my
the
brother
ghouls that's
from
been
another mother
conducted
just
by
got back
Sheriff
from
Connor
Germany where
McClellan
his
in
sister's
Butler County,
brother lives, and
Pennsylvania.
so he was going and
So
visiting
now
his
let's go to that film
brother-in-law
report.
and the kids and everything. It's
All
great.
law enforcement
Second best
agencies
meal
and the
ever
military have been
had was
organized to
I've ever
search
had
out
was in
and
Berlin.
destroy
Yeah,
the marauding
one of the
ghouls.
best meals I've ever
Survival
had was
Command
in
Center at the
Vienna.
Pentagon has
We went there to
disclosed
go
that a
see the
ghoul
Wien
can
Prata.
be
We went to this
killed
really great
by a
restaurant. It was
shot in the
delicious.
head or a heavy
I have not
blow
been to
the
Puerto
skull.
Rico ever because the
Officials are
Puerto
quoted
Rican
as
family was
explaining
out of New York.
that since the brain of a
So
ghoul
second
has been
generation New
activated
Yorkers
by
by
the
that point, I
radiation,
think.
the plan is
I mean, actually,
kill the brain
maybe my
and
grandfather's
you
mother
kill the
was
ghoul.
born there, but I mean, you know, he
think
died
of
when
the
I was
supply
really
wagon,
young,
guys?
and he was in
No,
the
we're
U.S.
all right.
Army, and he was not on speaking terms with his parents,
Put that
so
thing all the way in the
we kind
fire.
of
We
were
don't
cut
wanna
off from
get
that
up
side of
again.
things. My grandfather wasn't on speaking terms
Chief
anyway.
McClellan, how's everything
I'm
going?
sorry if I'm making you hungry,
things
guys.
aren't going
Between the
too bad.
pizza and
Men are
this,
taking it pretty good. You want to get on
and
the
that
other
right
side of the
there,
road over there?
the guy with holding the mic is
Well, we killed
was it
19 of them today
Chili
right
Bill,
in this area.
who
Those
did
last
hosted
three
the
we caught
horror
trying to
TV
claw their
show,
way into an
or sorry, the
abandoned shed. They
local
must have thought somebody
horror
was in there. There was
public
no.
broadcasting,
We
the
heard them
local
making all
show,
kind of noise. We came
and
over
he
and
was
beat
promoting
them off,
this.
blasted them down.
This guy,
Yeah,
right
okay.
here,
Chief,
with the hat,
if I were surrounded
was one
by
of the
6 or 8
financiers
these
of the
things, would I
movie.
stand a chance with them? Well, there's
You know?
no problem. If you had a gun,
He's a
shoot 'em in the
strawberry
head.
fruit
That's a sure
farmer,
way to kill 'em.
supposedly.
If you
There's,
don't,
wow, a
get yourself
bench in a
club or
park
a
somewhere
torch. Beat
dedicated
'em
to
or
my
burn 'em.
family.
They
That's
go up
great.
pretty easy.
Well, Chief
Yeah.
McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until
Chief
you get
McClellan
the situation under control?
was one of the
Well, that's
financiers.
pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well,
That was his own line, and it's one of the classics. I love that.
24 hours?
There was a chicken and
Well,
barbecue buffet in my
we don't really
hometown
know.
that had
We know we'll
snouts
be
and
into it most of the
trotters in
night,
the
probably into
buffet
the early
when I was a
morning.
kid. Dang,
We're working our way
headless
toward Willard, and
bourgeoisie.
we'll team up with the
Respect.
National Guard over there, and
I
then we'll be
respect
able to
that.
give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is
And
Bill
again,
Cardell,
a great mix.
WIC
They're all
TV11.
messed up. I
Thank
love
you, Bill,
that
for that
delivery.
report. Official spokesman
Yeah, they're
declined
dead.
to
They're all
speculate
messed
just
up.
how long it may take to
Yeah,
kill
these are the
off
moments
all
that were the
flesh
trickiest
eaters.
for me to crop to
As long
fit
as
the
the heavy
TV
rain-
screen inside. And look at this. They cut the power. Love that.
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know.
God, that guy's next to useless.
It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Dude.
Haven't you had enough?
But 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Oof. Yeah. Tari, Sean's making us hungry, and Tabby is saying, me too, Tari. Listen, man. I'm telling you what. They cut the power, man. They're animals. Sorry, wrong movie. No, listen. Alien sorry, Aliens is and Alien, but that is probably the greatest new monster we've had since the creature from the Black Lagoon. I think that's fair to say. You know, which funny enough has some of the tropes of infection and making monsters. Yep, they've answered it. Yep, the power's gone, which means no more television, no more radio. By the way, the bald dude who said that this isn't going to keep them out was right. Right? He's going to make the biggest mistake of his life right now. Because he is still a tool. D-handy. Oh no, they've learned tool use. Yes. Tool construction. Yeah, the thing is cool. The thing is amazing. Here you go. He's going to go for that gun.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to stay up here now? Helen, get the cellar. Get the cellar now. Move!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boom! Now, here's my case for not shooting that guy. He's gonna become a zombie because of the radiation. That's my only argument I've got. And she's still fighting to keep them out, and here's the thing. When absolute peril comes, Barbara snaps into action. Oh, wow. Do I have a favorite Aliens comics? Most of them aren't that good. Sorry, off topic. No, it's not too off topic for me. I did love the Superman Aliens comic because I'm a huge Kevin Nolan fan, and I loved his inks over... Who was the artist who did the interiors? But it was just beautifully done. Beautifully done. Yeah, the characters, that movie is just incredible horror. So now he goes down to his daughter to die. Oh my god, I do, Tammy D. Man, you guys are just blasts from the past. Yeah, it went from self-defense to murder, agreed. And here they go, and look, there's zombie number 1 coming in the door. And she's trying to escape, but watch, Judy snaps, just like in Death Wish 2, when his daughter comes out of the catatonic stage to try to fight her way loose. A traumatic shock brings her out of it. Wow, your daughter is just having a meal, and here you are. Oh, dear. Oh, this isn't good, man. I feel like the zombies are taking over the house. Oh. This ain't good. Yeah. Dan Jurgens, thank you, Headless Bourgeoisie. Yes, Dan Jurgens, you crushed it. How could I have forgotten Dan Jurgens, inked by Kevin Nolan? Isn't that great? Yep. They're coming inside, guys. Like, come on, man. Krabby Patty is just laughing at this point. I'm telling you one thing. I'm a pretty noble guy. But if zombies break into our house, I'm out of here. Period. End of story. The call is coming from inside the house. Yeah, very devious. And here you go. What's the worst thing that could happen to Barbara? Old driving gloves, her brother. Oh. It's somebody you know. God. Terrible. Whoa. What the hell? I'm out of here. Okay, I got him, guys. Just had to take care of him for just a minute. We're good. I sorted that out. You know, I'm not going to let them ruin and grab that pizza. Are you kidding? This is our house, Pizza Live, folks. You see the t-shirt? This is our house. You know, you mess with me, you're messing with the best. Say hello to my little friend. That's what that was. F-A-F-O. You know what I'm saying? TCB, baby. You know it's true. We're getting it done. Yep, it happens. Gotta do it, man. It's the way it is. And this is the worst part for me of all the zombies, right, that have to be taken out. I gotta be honest with you. She's the worst. Because she was the most level-headed, man. Just rough. And I gotta tell you, this is where Dwayne sells the performance. Because now the thing he was telling everybody not to do, he's had to do. And completely alone. Everybody's gone. Oh, it's rough, man. Rough. Yeah, more like Red Undead Redemption. Amen. D-handy indeed. Apparently they can't figure out basements. You know? That looks like my wife's side of the family at our wedding. I mean, I'm just saying that was their dance moves, more or less. It was kind of like a shambling. Oh, man. Yeah, such a sad outcome. That's right. Yeah. Here you go. And by the way, they were able to get the local news chopper. By the way, be a very supportive, kind person to the people around you that you meet. You want to get people invested in what you're trying to do. And you can be very focused, very driven, and be George Romero, but he worked for Mr. Rogers at this point in the area. He'd worked for all of these different people. And he reached out to the local, horror TV show host and got people excited, man. And that's what we do here. We're trying to get people excited about the comics we're making and about the stuff that we love. And that's what makes it possible, man. I'm grateful for all you guys. I know I say that a lot, but, I was having a conversation earlier today about that with somebody. I said I never needed anybody to come and tell me to express gratitude. That's something that's natural, and it's important. Yeah. For such a cool character. Agreed, yeah.
Hey, Vince,
it is just house viewing. They'll be done in a moment. You're right. They were like looking around thinking, I don't know why they're making such a fuss.
Check it out.
I was ready to make an offer.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with
So there's Chili Bill.
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the work, you take it. Thank you.
Another ad lib.
Up here about 3 or 4 more
Where'd you get the coffee? I'd like it.
I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard.
Well, to be fair, a good reason to stay upstairs is to keep an exit open. You're right. They might run out of supplies and then be locked in by zombies. You're absolutely right. I'd agree with that, too.
Everything appears to be under control.
And so here we go. Oh, awesome, Tammy. I showed my mom Nosfero, and she was amazed and thought the stuff you do, Sean, this amazing. Well, tell your mother I said thank you, by the way. And I hope she's doing really well. That's great. That puts a big smile on my face, Tammy. So here you go. He's been in the basement forever. He starts hearing, sounds upstairs. There's a couple of things I want to talk about with this ending, because this ending, I think, has been over-analyzed and over-politicized, right? There's 2 things you're about to see. One, to survive the zombie attack, they got through all his barricades. So he was wrong about the barricades. He went down to the basement, and the basement was safe. Now, granted, that little girl would have had to been dealt with, but there were more of them at the start than there were by the time you got to the end. Right? And then, second, when you start hearing the gunfire and all of the commotion upstairs, instead of doing what the bald guy did, which was stay put and not do anything until things calmed down, he came upstairs. It's so bad, man. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Tammy. And that's rough, man. That's what makes this so rough. I want you to take a look at those figures silhouetted in the sunlight. That's important. I don't think they made it. We know zombies can't talk.
Nick,
They can just moan and
You
shamble.
want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire?
He comes up. And again, he's inside the house. It's a sunny day. Very important.
You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire. Nothing down here.
That
All
guy,
right,
by the
ahead
way, is
down and
another
give him a
producer
hand.
on the movie who
Let's go
built the
check out
bridge.
house. There's something there. I heard a noise.
He heard a noise. He sees something moving. Can't see what it is.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
So for people who think, right,
Good shot. Okay, he's
that
dead.
he
Let's
was
go get
shot
him. That's
for
another
any
one
other
for the
reason
fire.
than they thought he was a zombie is a bridge too far. And there you have one of the most tragic endings to a truly independent flick that is a commentary on how people solve problems and people both thinking they're right, oftentimes both being wrong. Oh my God, didn't it? That was the Mist with Thomas Jane. I actually got hired to do a short story by Thomas Jane, and a terrific guy, really a nice guy, and was always very complimentary about my work. But yeah. Oh, some thought it was because, yes, John, back when this movie was seized upon by the chin strokers, they reviewed it, said it was trash when it came out. Then once it got popular in Europe, the film critics here started to like it. And when they liked it, they had to make it political. Yes, The Mist, yeah. And it's so fascinating to me. Yeah, it could also be a cover-up. Yeah. It's so fascinating to me because you have to think about the fact that if he had called out and said, "Hey, I'm here. I'm a survivor," anything else. But he didn't. He just stood there and shambled towards the door. And you just think, because remember, he was going to be white for all intents and purposes, just on probability. They had no plan on color being a factor. So that was a happenstance thing, and it's almost like showing people a Rorschach test. If they want to believe that they shot him for that reason, which I don't think is shown anywhere in this movie, it's not in the script, that says more about them than it does anything else, right? Yeah, don't shamble, you know? But this was 1968, and it was 1968 in rural Pennsylvania. So, I don't know, I wasn't around, or sorry, not rural, outside of Pittsburgh. So there you guys go, there it is, Pete's alive, we are back. Yeah, it's because he didn't say anything. Yeah, he didn't shamble, because none of the other characters reacted that way. None of the characters were like, "There's a guy upstairs, and by the way," like they weren't emphasizing that because it was zombies versus people. That was the big idea here. It was zombies versus people. Yes, indeed, a great flick, a masterful flick. And that's the reason why I always want people to think about this stuff, which is the audiences at the time saw this movie and it became popular, not by the chin strokers, right? Not until the Paris or Italian reviewer said it was good. Then they decided it was a political commentary, but by horror movie fans who saw it were rooting for Dwayne Jones. The ending doesn't work if that was the mentality of the time. And why were they rooting for Dwayne Jones? Because the actor was more charismatic than he was written. Dwayne Jones' personality and natural charisma made this movie as big of a hit as it was. You remove Dwayne Jones and it doesn't work, which shows you a lot more about 1968 and independent films. And the fact this has been a classic for how many decades now? It's not like in 2025 or 2015 people said, there was this movie that them old racist folks didn't like, but we're discovering it as a classic. It's been a classic and a popular film since it came out, in the same way that Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 was. Wherever there are fans of original, cool, exciting, interesting movies, you're going to see an audience show up. And it's the audience that made this a success, just like it's the audience that funds Nosfero the Crypt Walker and Springball. I've got those links pinned to the top of the chat. If you back the Oxidized edition, man, and oh, by the way, while I'm big on frame, let me see if I can do this. There is the full painting of the Undead Medley. So if you haven't seen it before, this is my tribute. Again, why am I painting Dwayne Jones? It's because of the impact as an actor, and George Romero, which is why I painted him as well. Why that stuff is so cool and so exciting. So as I get ready to make prints of the cover to book 2, some really cool stuff going on in here with the perspective and the lean. So happy with all the stuff that's going to be tied to the Oxidized edition. And again, I know I showed it at the start of the stream, but here you go. Here is a look at the painting from my last stream that's going to be going to Mark's Music Obsession. If you're interested in learning how to paint, watch The Horror of Painting. Last stream, I worked on this for about an hour, and I showed you what my painting technique was like. You can see my palette and my colors. I'm going to do that show as often as I can. I may even do it tomorrow. I don't even know. But it's all about wanting to show you guys how to get more comfortable with painting and have a good time and paint some monsters. So thank you guys so much for all of your support and for being here for this stream. Another episode, a long overdue episode of Pizza Live has wrapped up. Let me see what the chat has to say. What's the Netflix show John recommended where they speak Spanish and winter kills? Oh my God. What the heck was that show called where the snow comes down and kills people? And yeah, Mrs. Angetti was watching that and she loved it. Loved it. It was so good. I got to think about it. Oh, good. You caught that one live. I got to figure that one out too. What does anyone know what the name of that show was? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I love doing that work. It was called the what is it? The Eternaut is what it says. The Eternaut. So that's what it says here anyway. Yes, the Spanish Snow Show. This is what it says when I Googled it. I don't know if that's it, but it depicts a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by toxic, life-killing snow, if that's the one you're talking about. But a really great show. Yes, there you go. That's the one. Yes, I thought it was recognizing concepts everywhere. It turns out it was inspired by a comic from the 50s that blew my mind. Well, there you go, guys. There you guys go. So, guys, if you enjoy painting, if you enjoy comic books, check out Springball. Springball Terminal Monstrosity #1, which is currently funding, but the one that is funding and about to wrap up is Nosfero the Crypt Walker Second Chance Campaign and the Art Only Edition. It is a 8.5 by 11 beautifully painted book done in the tradition of really great oversized horror books. And in fact, my friend John Malin, who also has a show or has a channel, a big channel where he talks about his comics and his amazing artwork that he does, is going to be does a show for members only on his channel where we talk about comics, and I've been on the show a few times, and we're going to be doing this book illustrated by Bernie Wrightson's. Funny enough, ties into our movie tonight. Stephen King's Creep Show, a George A. Romero film. Art by Bernie Wrightson, the great Bernie Wrightson, with the cover art by Jack Kamen. It's going to be a really great time because if you love horror anthology comic books and you love the incomparable artwork of Bernie Wrightson, this is a great book with a great price. I forget how much it costs. It says $19.99. I bought it at a small bookstore out on the Cape, along with another book that took place out in the Cape, which is The Making of Jaws, or Designing Jaws. So yeah, I got my Jaws on out at the Cape. I even got myself, of course, my handy Quint cap, which I would encourage everybody to wear if you're out sharking. But yeah, such great stuff, man. Oh, you had that? No kidding. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mark. Mark, take care. Have a wonderful evening. Yes, indeed. Jack on Anna's channel tonight. So yes, everybody, feel free to head over to Jack if you need to laugh till your sides split. Yeah, I think Jack is probably on right now, probably has started. But thank you guys so much for being here. 94 people watching between X and YouTube. We got 17 watching on YouTube, 77 people watching on X, 31 likes. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great rest of the evening. As I always like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you guys. Give nihilism no quarter. I will see you guys very, very soon. And I've got everybody's name in the credits. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Raul Julia. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mark's Music Obsession. Good night to you, my friend. Thank you, Flutterbat, for being here. Thank you, Tammy D, as always. Thank you, John, for the link to the Jack Show. Emo Trash, thank you so much for being here. Krabby Patty, thank you for being here. Always a good time with you guys. Thank you, Tari. I'll make sure I got everybody. Flutterpat says, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's always an excellent Pizza Live with you guys. You guys make it a blast to be here. How's your father? Take care. Have a great evening. Mighty Geek Studios, if you are still lurking somewhere, have a great evening. Headless Bourgeoisie, cheers to you, my friend. It's always great to see you guys. You make doing these streams and everything so much more fun than I could have ever imagined. So it's always a great time hanging out with you guys. I will see you guys soon. Channel members, you will see your names in the credits. And thank you guys very, very much. And good night. Take care.